And now it's time for wrestling's hottest game show, The 30. Here's your host, referee ESO.
Hey, thank you, Joe, and welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling's #1 game show, The 30, where every week I ask this elite group of wrestling experts questions. And based on their answers, they're awarded points. The one with the most points at the end of the night is crowned The 30 champion. This is ESO. Let's get this party rolling. First of all, to my right, he's a former The 30 champion. He's the self-proclaimed smartest man in the room. He's Dan Sebastiano. What's going on, Dan?
Yeah, I believe it's pronounced current champion, but I mean,
that's
you
right.
Get whatever you want here.
That's right.
No, I last week I wrote a poem. I wanted to talk some smack about these guys. I compiled all these notes, and the only thing I could figure out is, Benny apparently thinks that Ivan Koloff should be in the Hall of Fame. None of them love to talk. None of them talk about that. But that's all I
The Red Raid is rock, baby.
There you go.
I'm a raider. I'm a raider. I'm a raider till I die.
Next, we have...
I'd rather be a raider than a dope from Quincy High.
Oh, my.
Listen, so to my right, we have the honor of having the president of Thursday nights in the house. Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm the man of the hour, the tower of power, too sweet to be sour, often imitated but never duplicated, and I like to drink unborn virgin goat's milk from time to time.
Can you hear me pounding your floor? I don't know if it's
quiet down there.
Knock it off up there.
All right.
Knock 3 times.
Next, we have the former champion of the 30. He's also a poet laureate. He's the player, Benny Scala. What's up, Benny?
Well, unlike the president, who is often imitated but never duplicated, I am never imitated but often constipated. But I do have a poem for tonight. So this is a good one. This is going to be for the ages. And everybody loves Elvis, right? And everybody loves Lee Cole, right? No. But anyway, this is dedicated to Lee Cole. It's to the tune of Are You Lonesome Tonight? But this is called Are You Loathsome Tonight? You ready?
Ooh.
Here goes. Just think of that song. Are you loathsome tonight?
Elvis.
Some more lying tonight. All the bullshit you try to impart. As your brain cells decay with a brain made of hay, when I hear you, I just want to shart.
Oh.
All the lemmings, they follow you with a blank stare. All the caca you're spewing is not on the square. As you circle the drain, I just sharted again.
Whoa.
Tell me, Lee, are you loathsome tonight?
Wow. We need music. You needed some music back there. Get that lava lamp.
Thank you very much.
That-
Mitch.
that's what
they rock to do,
I didn't have
to
enough
say.
time to do a refrain. I wonder if you're loathsome tonight.
Are you lonesome tonight?
And once you get that guitar going, man, you're set.
Wait, he's already got 4 points?
Yeah. What do you think?
What?
He puts in all that extra work. You don't think?
I guess that poem was better than last week's.
Listen,
because I
hey
only got
Joe,
3 last week.
realize when I turned on the computer today, I realized that you still had some negative ones that I actually erased from the from
Slow it
overtime
down
there.
Today's
So
a new day.
I'd
There's
watch.
a clip's coming up now. Knock it off.
Hey, that was based on the aftermath, the after show of the 30. We were all
Jesus.
talking last week, but I figured I'd wipe them out, be nice. So realize you already got 6 bonus points.
Wow. All right.
All right.
Awesome.
So listen, while we're talking to him, that's the man from Centerville. He's never at a loss for words. That's Whattaday Joe Lowry. What's up, Joe?
I have nothing to say tonight, but good luck to everybody, my fellow Americans. I hope you all do well. But I need a win tonight. Tonight's my mother's birthday. She's no longer with us. I hope to win. And if I do win tonight, I will dedicate it to my mom, Penny. Penny was very good to everybody. So what a day, huh? What a day.
God bless Penny. God bless her.
And I've done so many shows this week. I don't come up with an opening like everybody does. I got to get a writer in here and start doing that. But one thing for sure, though, is I did go to high school with Missy Beefcake, if you did not hear that yet. So I'm here.
But Joe, just in honor of your mother, you're tied with Benny.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Nice.
All right. I got to find out who else died next week.
I'll have to...
All right. So listen, guys, it's been another crazy week in wrestling. Let's get this thing started. You guys know the rules. Lying, cheating, foreign objects, and all other distractions are allowed and encouraged. Points are given for amusing comments, trash talking, and bribery via PayPal, Cash App, Venmo.
Bribery.
Credit cards are accepted, but realize there is a 10% surcharge. So are you guys ready for this first question?
Let's do this.
All right. So, where did it go?
So buttons
Over
on what?
there we go.
So there I was
Over the past
online.
few weeks, The Rock has been under some scrutiny for the promos he's been cutting, with several wrestlers behind the scene perplexed as why they're handcuffed on their promos, but The Rock has no issue using things they can't to get his current character over. Come Raw this week, we saw Cody come out and use profanity in his promo. Are we getting to a new attitude era in the WWE? Do you think it's fair for The Rock and Cody to be able to cut these promos while the rest can't? So we're going to start it off with the champ this week, Dan.
Whoa, Dan, you're up, man. Ooh.
You are on the 30.
That's 30.
Go.
Get everyone to acknowledge me before I give you my answer if we're talking champs. But no, honestly, I don't mind. Does it need to be more edgy? Absolutely. After how many years of suffer and succotash and some of the poo jokes we've got, the promos that were clearly written by children. No, I don't mind it being more edgy. I think Halloween. I think Hollywood Rock works better when he's an edgy character. Absolutely. And the fact that he's doing this on his own social media with millions of followers that would never watch wrestling in the first place. Because don't forget, he's also one of the most popular actors in Hollywood the last 25 years. So he's putting eyes on the product that a normal promo would never have. If he wants to go into business for himself a little bit, we could always complain to the head of the board. Oh, wait, I think the head of the board approves what The Rock's doing right now, I think. But no, he's fine. Cody being a little more edgy, great. You can get away with that at 9 p.m. on USA Network. Probably not so much on Fox and SmackDown. But the other thing, too, you got to look at is they get to do what other people don't because they are the biggest stars. You go back to the Attitude Era. Not everybody was coming out chugging beer and throwing middle fingers up because you earn that right when you put eyes on the program. Cody is the biggest face they've got right now, especially with CM Punk on the shelf. Rock is the biggest star the company's had in years that's back. He's pulling up a main event at WrestleMania. Sure, he's earned it. If anybody's earned it, it's those two. If you're complaining that a star that's bigger than you gets to do what you don't, be a bigger star, be better, get pushed.
Nice job, Dad. Nice job. But I think he's taking some of the president's notion and going overtime there. Not as bad, but hey.
Somebody missed the extra point on that. He only got 13. All right.
Oh man.
That's gonna screw up my bracket this week.
All right. God. Well, next we have up the president, Mr. Decesare. You are on the 30.
Great question, man. You know, it's interesting. During that Cody promo, he made an allusion. He outright called out Brian Gerwitz, the main writer for The Rock. So that's unique in and of itself, acknowledging the fact that The Rock might have some help crafting his promos too. Whereas Cody, you know, again, is I think a little more organic and is really the captain of his own ship when it comes to his promos. And, you know, he's been criticized for being a little impassioned. He's been criticized for tearing up and, you know, and showing that side of him. But I welcome this change, man. I'm so done with the milquetoast, walking on eggshells kind of approach to putting out a product, you know? Yeah, absolutely. Who didn't love the Attitude Era and see it as really the height of the business? And it really was, too. And, you know, in any corporation, in any workplace, in any job site, there exists a hierarchy, okay? And here, I mean, case in point, and you know, it's a caste system, too. It really is. And how much better do you show the difference amongst the castes, amongst the levels, than by getting away with stuff, you know? The language is a little colorful, of course. But again, we mentioned social media. We are now not only using social media as a conduit, as a way to advance these promos, but these promos have to get a little edgier too, kind of like what we see on social media, kind of have to bring it up to that level. So it's a great thing. I'm curious to see what they do when they transition to the next medium. So that's it, in time.
Nice.
El
Presidente with the words of wisdom.
Thank you very much.
Playa, looks like you're next up on the 30. Go.
All right. Well, my first thought was that both Ken Patera and Rip Rogers, who probably dropped a combined 700 F-bombs on their appearances on Dan and Benny in the Ring, all of a sudden they're contemplating comebacks because of the use of profanity, which, was a thing, they thought was long forgotten. No, I think it's great. I was especially impressed with Cody because I was going to say something that Cody was one dashing step away from Stardustville, but I like the emotion. I mean, what is wrestling but emotion? That's what drew us in as kids. And obviously they couldn't use profanity back then, but it's the way you express yourself in 2024. Now, as far as The Rock and Cody being able to use profanity when the rest can't, well, my take on that is that, all right, let's take Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano could drop 87 F-bombs and he would still sound like a moth on Xanax. So it's all these guys are unique generational talent. I love it. I can't get enough of it. And
just can't get
the rest,
enough.
I'm sorry.
Just can't get enough. Just can't get enough.
So Benny's done.
Look at that lava lamp. That lava lamp is lighting up, baby.
Nice
right.
job. Nice job. So, well, we only have one person left on this round, and that is the man who's definitely not at a loss for words, and I'm sure he's going to do great on this one. Joe?
The garrulous.
That's a jinx right there when you say he's got to do great on this one.
I got faith in you.
Look up the word garrulous. I think that is Joe.
I like that word.
Yeah, garrulous.
Joe, you are on to 30.
All right, so Cody Rhodes goes out there and calls The Rock an asshole. Boy, yeah, I felt like I was back in the Attitude Era there. One thing I noticed when he came out, that, Raw is live. And usually when you turn it on, there's like a little live icon down there somewhere that's, engraved in the TV. I didn't see that. And I thought it was very strange when he got in the ring. To me, the promo was great. Don't get me wrong. But, in my mind, looking at it, it looked like it was pre-taped. I don't know if anybody noticed that. I'm sure it wasn't. It was live and all that stuff. But just something about it was off. I didn't see the live icon. Nonetheless, so I heard that executives at USA Network, they knew this was coming. WWE told them that, hey, look, Cody's going to say this word. We want him to say this word. And he said it. So he called The Rock an asshole, a whiny bitch, and he called, Rock's the side chick to Roman and all that stuff. And it was great promo. Now, the thing here is, when he said that and everything, and then they go to another match and the crowd's chanting something and they're beeping it out, especially during the Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, which was a great match on Raw, by the way, the I Quit match, or not the I Quit, the last woman standing match. They were chanting stuff and they were beeping it out. So, that's not, something wasn't right there. I love the promo by Cody Rhodes. I just think it would somehow was pre-taped, preempted or something for him to say asshole, and nobody else could do anything about it. And I just think that it was a good promo. That's my take on it. Holy Jesus, look at that score.
You missed it. You missed it, Joe. The live icon was in the bottom corner next to the real location of Kate Middleton. You had to look real hard for
yeah,
that.
Really. I was like, I'm looking at it. And when he got in the ring, did you notice he didn't do his thing with the fans? It
was a much more serious intro.
Yeah, it was. I was
entrance,
like, and that made it all off to me.
So what do you want to talk about?
I almost thought it was pre-taped.
And you know what? I will say the asshole and the what do you call him about being a dick? Both better lines than Diarrhea Dwayne. Yeah. I'll give him that.
I was hoping for swearing the rest of the night. I would have loved it. It made it interesting.
Well, like I said, you want to swear, you be a bigger star. If Nia was the biggest draw they had, she could say whatever the hell she wanted during her matches.
Yeah. I wonder how much they paid, because they had a meeting they told the executives at USA, hey, Cody's going in there. This is what he's saying. And they allowed it. So if they allow that, allow everything else.
Raw's one of their higher rated programs, so maybe they get away with it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about somebody's upcoming new book.
Ooh. Time to pay the bill.
The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine. Yeah.
Tired of that same old breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Same old tasting scrambled eggs, burger, that dinner steak, ribs, or pork chops. Why not add a little bit of spice or just a touch of heat to make the difference? Change that scrambled egg with a little bit of Johnny Fabulous's John Cena Sr.'s $1 Million Jalapeno Hot Sauce. Great on burgers, steaks, chops, and those barbecued ribs.
And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Wrestling's Hottest Game Show, the only game show, I do believe, on the internet, DA30. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody in the chat. The chat's really rocking tonight. I want to thank everybody for saying their my mom died in 07, so it's I appreciate everybody's comments. But today is her birthday, Penny's birthday. So nonetheless, Bruce, the crooked referee, not tonight though. I think he's looking good tonight. I think he's playing the good guy.
I wonder why you say that.
I think he's playing the good guy.
He's playing it straight.
Playing it straight. And
A true
obviously,
mystery.
we must have to prepare some type of opening for the next show because you get some points for that. I didn't know that. So
Hey,
the
you never
poet
know. It's
laureate always
It's discretionary. It's discretionary.
discretionary. Okay.
All right,
Sounds
guys.
like
Well,
NASCAR.
listen,
Change the rules during the race.
let's get into this next question. So Ronda Rousey's upcoming new book, Our Flight, has some leaked excerpts that have come to light, and they paint the WWE and Vince McMahon in not too positive of light. Here's one of the quotes from it. Pay-per-views are held in major cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia, as well as twice a year in Saudi Arabia, a nation that restricts the rights of women in a way that I'm certain Vince McMahon wishes he could. What do you think of this upcoming novel? Ooh. Are you surprised? And maybe did you think Ronda took one too many hits to the head over her career? So, Mr. President, it looks like you're next on the 30.
Oh, good. It's just striking a chord with me right now,
All right. Go.
You talk about biting the hand that feeds you. I remember back I read a lot of these wrestler biographies, and I don't know that I read Chyna's or I heard reference, but she really criticized and really spoke poorly of her trainer, Walter Killer Kowalski, who, got her started and provided her with the foundation of everything. And he was a wonderful guy, by the way, a super guy. So I don't understand this. And Vince, of course, offered Ronda everything, really, basically on a silver platter. She came in, didn't have to earn her way the old school way, okay, propelled right to the top. And I can kind of see why somewhat. And I'm sure that's drawn some resentment too. But really, to start to politicize this about where we hold our premium live events. I need to get points for saying that phrase. I hate that. For pay-per-views, okay? It's just a bridge too far. It really is, I mean, it comes off as disingenuous. It comes off as piling on to the situation, I mean, really, there's nothing brave about that, about jumping onto a situation, and let's look at things. I mean, didn't she know the culture while she was there anyway? Did she ever make any statement or, maybe, take a moment, put things on pause and say, I don't want to do this. I don't like what's going on here. No, she rolled with the punches. But now that it's fashionable and now that everyone else can kind of jump on Vinny and my buddy Vinny. No, he isn't really. I have no judgment on McMahon right now. We're going to wait as things are ironed out. But I don't like this. It seems cheap heat. Okay, that's what I think.
Wow. Yeah, Phil going into overtime again.
All right, sorry.
No worries.
I need to.
No worries.
Need to.
Nice rant there, Phil. Let's see.
Thanks.
You got 13 points, and I did give you the extra point for premium live events.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right.
It's a tough phrase to say.
So let's see. Playa, it's your turn on this this question. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Let's do this. All right. Now, I'm not going to say what I'm about to say to collect a bonus from Michael Monty. As always, the player shoots from the heart. Well, unless I'm with the playmate, in which case I'm shooting from, never mind. We're not going to go there. But, Ronda's been quite vocal about Vinny as of late. Apparently, the national pastime is no longer baseball. It's jumping on the Vince McMahon pile. I don't quite understand what Ronda is pissing and moaning about. I want to make sure I'm understanding something. She was paid millions and millions of dollars not to get her ass knocked out, as she was very good at during her UFC days. She was pushed to the moon and put in WrestleMania and many PLEs. Do I get a point for that? To be perfectly honest, I didn't always like the way she was booked. She had competitive matches against Alexa Bliss and that CGS, Nikki Bella. Somebody will have to message me offline to find out what the CGS stands for. But, the E in WWE stands for entertainment. And although I didn't care for it, I'm sure Ronda was smiling every time she looked at her bank balance. Unlike Shohei Ohtani, although that's a story for a different day. I don't know if anybody knows about what happened with him. But like so many different Piler honors, is that a word? Well, it is now.
Piler's on.
Where the fuck was Ronda when all this shit that she's griping about when it was happening? Oh, wait. She was too busy cashing her $1 million paychecks. I've written a thing or two in my day, and I think there's a word for someone who does things just for the money, even if they find it distasteful. What's that word again? Oh, yeah, that's it. Whore.
Hooah.
Hashtag Rousey is lousy.
Ooh.
Play out.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
She's going to come on the show and beat someone's ass. That's what's going to happen.
Joe.
I'd like her to do something to these arms.
All right, Joe, it's your turn on to 30. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
All right. The first thing I did when I found out Ronda Rousey had these quotes released and all that stuff, and I didn't know what the hell Emperor Palpatine meant. So I went on Google, and it's an evil thing for Star Wars reference. I don't know. I couldn't get a proper thing, but Palpatine means evil, and that's what Vince McMahon is, besides calling him a slime ball, evil, unethical, and all that stuff. She also had a quote earlier in the day about she was limited to 90,000 words for the book. And I'm going to do this quote unquote. She was contractually held to 90,000 words, and I was going to talk so much more shit, especially about John Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard. But I understand we had to streamline everything and now take a detour on the fuck these old bastards path. So Ronda Rousey, no doubt, is not holding back. Was she unhappy in the WWE? I think she was. She was trained by Triple H. She had nothing but good praise for them. But Ronda Rousey is Ronda Rousey. I don't know why she's bad-mouthing the company that paid her millions of dollars, but she does have a vendetta against the higher-ups that coincides with the Janelle Grant lawsuit, which John Laurinaitis today has finally responded to, and that's putting him down the path of guilt. But nonetheless, she is just advocating for the women because she basically was shitting on the corporate side, saying the women got zero time versus the men's matches. And she talked about the entrances for the men and all that stuff. And then the women had to go out with like 2-second entrances. So I get what she's saying. She's just not putting that nice flair on it. She's just telling it like it is, like a typical UFC fighter. She's in your face. And obviously she hates the way the women's division is being run in the WWE. So that's what she is.
Nice job.
Wow.
Nice
29.
job. Nice
29.
job.
Wow. Nice.
Dan, unfortunately, their bonus points are hurting you today.
That happens.
Dan, you better come up with something. Where's the goddamn cat? Where's the cat?
Dan, you're on the 30.
It's a great cat.
All right. Before we start, Joe, what the hell? Emperor Palpatine is the Emperor, the main villain in Star Wars, the most profitable franchise.
I don't watch
cinema
that
hit.
crap.
No one with internet access shouldn't know who Emperor Palpatine is. Take down one of your sky blue pictures. You've lost that privilege. But no, I'm going to apparently disagree with everyone and side with Ronda Rousey on this one. First off, she is 100% right. Doing shows in Saudi Arabia is a fucking disgrace. By the way, when they signed that Saudi Arabia contract was the same month the Saudi Arabian government murdered a journalist for talking about how bad the Saudi Arabian government was. But no, let's take that money. And she's right. I'm sure Vince would love to live in a country where women are property and only allowed to own driver's. I'm 40 years old. In my lifetime is when women in that country were allowed to own driver's licenses and leave the house without a male escort.
She's 40 years
absolutely
old?
right that Vince wishes he could treat women like Saudi Arabia does. She's absolutely right that Bruce Pritchard and John Laurinaitis are soulless fuckwads who treat women like garbage. Everyone said so. Read John Laurinaitis' statement. He's basically saying everything that Janelle Grant said was true, but Vince made me do it. And she didn't shit on the WWE as a whole. She said it was a shit show, which she's not wrong about. They're in flux right now. She, and no pun intended, shit all over Vince McMahon, which I'm sure is a reversal role for him. But she's got all kinds of stuff that she's talking about. Is honest about the people that have been good to her. But Vince was a monster. They shouldn't have been in Saudi Arabia, and the other executives are all terrible.
Nice job, Dan. That was quite a rant. You did well there. Caught back up with the player.
He beat the shit out of me. I'm cut up now.
I'm gonna let my hair down on that.
So, Phil, I hate to say it, but I gotta let you go tonight because we're on the last question. I was gonna eliminate two people, but Dan tied it back up with the player, so I gotta let him play this last round out.
Well, you guys made me happy, lifted my spirits, very happy. Now I'm hungry, so I am going to eat and
steak, protein.
Maybe both. You never know.
My notes say you like salad.
Steak.
I will not eat a cat though.
Oh Jesus!
I miss your cats, man.
I miss Chinese food. Speaking of cats,
no animals tonight. How
The
about
wife's
that,
remodeling downstairs, so there's all kinds of boxes and bags for them to crawl in. So
they're having fun. A little playground.
Yeah,
Nice.
The downstairs is a playground of boxes and bags right now.
All right. Well, good luck, gentlemen. Have a good game.
All right.
Talk to you soon. Peace. See you guys.
I'm not going to reset the scores now, just because just for time issues. So,
okay. But
it's a pretty close race. Joe, you got a 1 point lead over these other guys going into this final round. But you got some stiff competition. It's the last two champions you're up against.
Did they take Viagra?
That was an adult film that I starred in back in the day.
All right. So
I got a Viagra stuck in my throat. I had a stiff neck.
Sure. I was just going to say that, Joe.
All right. So, in a surprising twist that's shaking up the wrestling world, Shayna Baszler is going to perform at a GCW event. What does this daring crossover mean to the wrestling multiverse? Is WWE playing their hand by allowing its stars to grapple in the indie galaxy, or is this a one-time deal that's as rare as a wrestler refusing a championship belt? Could we be seeing more WWE talent popping up on the indie shows, or is Shayna Baszler just the exception to the rule? So let's start with Joe, since you are the you're the last.
Point, so yeah.
Let's see. So Joe, you're on to 30.
The blade job too.
All right. So Shayna Baszler going to do some crossover indie talent stuff. I read it. Shayna Baszler's contract's just about up, and it's all over the internet that she's probably going to not be re-signed. They're doing absolutely nothing with her except putting her with Zoe Stark and all that stuff, and I don't see that tag team going much further than it already has. So Shayna Baszler is that kind of talent where, go ahead, do your own thing. Your contract's up soon, so what the hell? Do I see crossovers in the future once WrestleMania gets over and all that stuff? And TKO really, really takes over, because I think WrestleMania is the benchmark. We're going to see a lot of changes after WrestleMania. Sure, we might see some stuff. I'm thinking it's going to be more of a crossover with UFC at this point, with Logan Paul showing up at the U.S. title events. Undertaker and Vince McMahon have been going to events in the past. So I think we'll see a lot of crossover. And, look at what happened with Mercedes Moné last week in Boston with 3 of her best friends sitting high above ringside at the Boston Garden. I'm talking about Bayley, Naomi, and Tamina. That's kind of odd. You get WWE people watching AEW Dynamite. And then go back to this past Raw. Matt Hardy and his wife were sitting in a suite that was given to them, not by WWE, but by another company, a beauty company for the wife. So, crossovers, appearances, and so forth. I definitely see it. It's happening. That's what TKO wants. This is part of the worldwide crossover movement that's going to take place. Definitely after WrestleMania, though. So that's it.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Nice job, Joe.
Whoa. Hello. Look at these scores, man. Jesus.
Good round, Joe.
Everybody's got their work cut out for them after this one.
Uh-oh.
So, Benny, looks like
Benny
it's your turn on the 30. Go.
Well, I am old enough to remember with extreme fondness, back in the territory days, that was very commonplace. Ken Patera, who was our guest on the 100th episode of Dan and Benny in the Ring, within a 4-day span, won the Intercontinental Championship, I think, against Pat Patterson, and then the NWA Missouri Championship for in Sam Muchnick's promotion from, I think, Kevin Von Erich. Ivan Koloff back in the day, he was a champion in Florida, and yet he did monthly shots in both St. Louis and WWA for Dick the Bruiser. I mean, are we going to see anything like that? Hell no, absolutely not. I mean, much as that would be great, although where do they really go at this point? But I do see, like Joe said, I do see a lot of crossover into the MMA realm. So I think it's going to be very limited as to who's going to do this. You're not going to see, I don't know, a Chad Gable. You're not going to see an Otis. You're not going to see a Tozawa, but you will see a Baszler. I do think, this is by and large a one-off. I wish it wasn't, though. I wouldn't mind seeing some of these guys pop up in indie promotion. I really think it would be good for the wrestling business. When you can advertise these people, it really would be a shot in the arm for independent wrestling. But I think it'll happen, but I think it'll be very limited.
Good one. That was good.
Nice job. But Benny,
look at that.
That's not going to be enough. So far, Joe.
He came up short, which was another adult film I starred in.
Jesus.
All right,
from
champ.
The director of Bonan the Barbarian.
Lohan the Barbarian.
Conan the Librarian. Right?
The player gave him a good fight. He just came up short, folks. He went to the well too many times.
So, champ, it's all on you.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. Well, I think this is really interesting and something I'm surprised neither of these guys brought up. Shayna Baszler's opponent at the Bloodsport X event is Masha Slamovich, who's currently contracted with TNA. So this is a WWE versus TNA match at a GCW pay-per-view. This is the kind of crossover that a lot of people were hoping would happen when TKO, wife cameo in the background, a lot of what would happen in TKO when they came into the company. They knew they were going to work with TNA. They knew they were going to bring in UFC talent and have crossovers. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Game Changer Wrestling just from some of their talent, but it is exactly the kind of show that someone like Shayna Baszler, who is a legit badass, I could see her in a fight where she's bloody, broken glass, killing David Arquette kind of stuff. But as for the event itself, I think it's huge. I think it's a big deal. It might be her last hurrah. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't re-sign her. Unfortunately, like Benny said, they really haven't done much with her. That may be why Ronda's mad. Ronda put her over in a submission, choked me out on my way out the door, and then they did nothing to follow that up. But this could be the beginning. I mean, look at some of the talent that's come through GCW. Matt Cardona, someone like that, who could pop up on WWE for a one-off show. I think it's great. I think the fact that Bayley was at an AEW event and didn't get punished shows that they're more willing to expand the curtain. Whereas Vince McMahon was, you work for me, Iron Thumb or else. Goes back to what I said about how he wished he could treat people at Saudi Arabia. But this is a great thing for them. Great thing for the future. A lot more crossovers coming.
Dan, nice job, but it just was not enough. Oh, man.
Masha Slamovich.
I cannot believe it.
Was on Whattaday.
Wow, look who's champ.
Wow, Joe.
What a day.
Joe.
Masha Slamovich was on Whattaday. Yeah.
You are the champ today.
No way.
Yeah,
All
way.
right, I won?
You won. How did that happen? Yeah, I think Dan's going to
Wow.
protest this one though, because if it weren't for those bonus points, he's gotten screwed on
where,
those bonus
If
points
it weren't
twice.
for you meddling kids,
I mean, look, I'm not saying that the points were divided unfairly. You're very much a Russian figure skating judge right now. I'm sure it was all on the up and up.
5-5, 4-2, 5-5.
You know, how do you? I mean, seriously, how do you dedicate a show to your mom and not win? This is exactly what should have happened.
This is how
he's got apple pie on his desk too.
I gotta dedicate this win to my mom, Penny. I love you. I miss you. She was my best friend growing up.
Penny guided you to victory, Joe.
Penny
You got
was-
the Duke, baby. You got the Duke.
Yes,
Penny
congrats.
was that mom that everybody loved. They called her Penny. They loved her. She did everything for everybody. It's a shame she passed at such a young age. But hey, I love her, and thanks. I'm the champ tonight. I'm right. I finally get
You're
the
right,
belt.
baby.
I get the real
all
belt
right.
behind me right here. So
All
On
that
behalf
money
of
you
this
spent
illu-
buying that real belt for yourself, you finally get to actually hang it up.
there you go.
On behalf of this illustrious cast, Joe, why don't you take us on out of here?
All right, we're leaving. All right, so guys, thank you so much for tuning into Wrestling's hottest game show, The 30. I want to thank everybody in the chat, Loose Cannon, RJ, Dan, Maria, Beth, everybody in the chat tonight. Thank you so much. Dan, Benny, Phil put up a great fight tonight, but unfortunately they came up short. Dan beat the hell out of me during that one of those rounds, so I was cut up pretty bad, so I had to get stitches put in there. So, it is what it is, folks.
Rocky.
Thank you all for tuning in. I guess we're heading on out of here. Don't forget to tune into Monte and the Pharaoh. They're coming up. I do believe they got somebody I went to high school with coming on the show, Missy Beefcake.
I can feel her presence.
Get at
Job.
8 o'clock. I didn't
We've
see
got
who got at
wrestling
8 o'clock.
rumors.
Wrestling, awesome. So we'll be on there in the chat. I will be on in the second hour at some point, so tune into that. All that good. Hopefully my cut will heal by then and all that good stuff.
Coming for you next week, buddy.
And don't forget, I love you, Mom. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you guys.
God bless Penny.
Yeah.
I'm taping my fists next week.
What
There
a
you go.
what a day. Get the belt. Sky Blue.